Guys, take notice here of the big mistake my student make with second man press. And in today's video, I'm going to show you guys more live gameplay example settings, and I'm show you guys a special analogy on how to fix second man press and use it in a correct way. Because if you don't use it in the correct way, this is what will happen. Look, you use second man press in incorrect way. What happens? Space opens up for this opponent to exploit, and you'll see he ends up conceding a goal. So if you guys want to know the answers, watch the video until the very end. Look, he ends up conceding because he never used second man press in a mindful way. Okay, now straight into the settings, and I'm going to show you guys a special analogy on how to use second man press in a mindful way. Watch the video until the very end if you guys want to become high level player and dominate in this game. See you on the other side. Okay guys, this here is extremely important. You guys need to go into game settings, and from game settings go into visual. Then once you're in visual, you guys need to go into teammate contain indicator. This here, please make sure it's turned on. If it's not turned on, you won't see who you second man pressing with. Once it's turned on and you hold down R1/RB, you'll be able to see a green icon appearing above your player's head of whom you second man pressing with, to make you aware. Okay, now guys, we're gonna get into the special technique analogy to make you guys understand how second man press works. If you guys are learning something so far, smash a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. Smashing a like helps YouTube to push this video to many other people who are struggling with this particular thing and area in gameplay. Okay, let's get straight into the analogy now. See you on the other side. Okay guys, here's the analogy. This is the incorrect way you guys second man press. Pay close attention. You see who I selected? I selected this player there. That's the player from the outside. And watch, the player from the inside will second man press. Just think of a car and I'll explain to you guys the correct way. Watch here. I'm pressing now. I'm holding down R1. This player here second man pressing. And what's happening there? It's leaving a huge hole. So instead of selecting the player from the outside, you want to select the player from the inside, this player here, and then the player from the outside will second man press. Just watch. And that way you aren't leaving any huge holes. Look, he's pressing. Can you guys see? Pay attention. He's pressing the ball holder. Now again, if I have to select this player here, obviously the player from the inside will second man press, and that's creating a huge hole. So think of a car. You always want to select the inside of your car so the outside of your car can press, so the outside player can press. Just watch. Select that player now. Look, that player there second man's press. You see always the player closest to the ball. So please guys, remember, select the player from the inside. So the player from the outside will second man press. But you guys need to be mindful also when using it. Like, see, he's second man pressing. You guys hold it for a split second and let go. Because you see how it's bringing this player here out of position. You guys see, like let's say if this player here is closest to the ball holder. Always remember, when you second man press, the player closest to the ball will second man press. You see, because this player here was further up the pitch there, and this player was closest to the ball holder. That's why he second man pressed, and which brought him out of position, and space was opening up for this player here to exploit. Please guys, if you guys learning something, smash a like and subscribe to the channel. Now watch, I'll select this player here and he'll second man press. Because why? He's second man pressing because he's closest to the ball. But now you see, because he's further, this player here will second man press. So hope you guys understand, and please tell me what videos you guys want to see next. Okay, so always remember, select the player from the inside, so the player from the outside will second man press, and be mindful when you second man pressing. And another thing also I want to say, with your CBs, 99% of the time you never want to second man press with your CBs. I'll show you an example on a technical board. The only time you want to second man press with your center backs is when you're on a 2v versus 2v situation. One player is covering the other player, the passing lane, and then the other player, the other CB is second man pressing. Okay guys, now I'm going to show you the other analogy on second man press on a technical board. and later the live gameplay examples, more live gameplay examples. Cool, see you guys on the other side. Okay guys, this here is extremely important. You see 99% of the time you do not want to second man press with your CBs. These are my two CBs, both of these players here. 99% of the time you don't second man press with them, but in a 2v versus 2v situation you do. That's why I say in this game, like King Sunny said, 2 plus 2 is not 4. He's talking the truth. It's all about game sense. And that video will be linked in the description. Look here, why I say here you must second man press with your center backs. Like with your 1 CB, you cover this player here. Okay? You cover this player here. So he doesn't exploit the space. You protect the space. Then with a 1 CB, you second man press this player here. You see, only in a 2v versus 2v situation, you do that there, and that's when you second man press with your center backs. If let's say he has a player here, okay, in that situation, you cannot like basically second man press, or let's say he has a player here, you cannot second man press with this player here on the ball holder, because why? He's gonna come out of position, and it's gonna bring space for this player here to exploit. So you see guys, it's all about game sense. So only in 2v versus 2v situations, that's when you second man press with your center backs. Please tell me if you guys understand this, because I did explain to the best of my ability. Now, straight into the live gameplay examples. See you that side. Okay guys, straight into the live gameplay examples. As you guys can see, look with second man press. Look, he's selecting that player there. Now he second man press with that player there, and he selected that player there. And you see, if you don't use second man press in a mindful way, you guys know the story, gaps are gonna open up. Okay, just watch. Look, see, I said 99% of the time you don't want to select the player from the outside, because when you select the player from the outside, obviously the player from the inside is in the second man press. And what's happening? It's leaving space for the opponent to exploit, and this player here is going to be free. So you see, this is the mistake one of my students were making. Look, he's out of position here. Look, and this is when he considered, he select that player there from the outside and the player from the inside, second man press. You guys know the story. Huge hole is opening up. See his buttons. So please guys, do not make this mistake. Always select the player from the inside, so the player from the outside will second man press. Look, he selected that player late. Look now, still bringing his CB out of position. Second man pressing, that's why I said use it in a mindful way. Here again, mistake. Goal. He ended up conceding, which I showed you guys in the beginning of the video. So please guys, showing you these examples so you guys don't make the same mistakes there again. Not second man pressing. Always select the play from the inside, so the play from the outside will second man press. But he never do that. Open up a huge hole. Okay, but look in a good way. You see, second man press, you've used it in a mindful way. That's why I say 2 plus 2 doesn't equal 4 in this game. Look, he's second man pressing, and look, it's applying pressure on a player he's going to pass to. You see, and looks like in a way, it is a powerful tool if used in the correct way. And that second man press saved the day, but he never go into the empty space. He got the ball there. Yeah, look, he's again, you see, pressing with his CBs. What I said, 99% of the time, you don't second man press with your CBs. But he's doing that. Player almost come out of position. Look, he's out of position. As you guys can see, look, he's not, the one CB is not in his position there, which opens up and invites space for your opponent, and you're giving your opponent a free goal. And look, that's how he ended up conceding, because he misused second man press. Okay, he got the ball there. Look, misusing second man press again. With this player here, space is opening up. If this was a good player here, let's say it was me, I have the ball with this player, I'll trigger this player on a run, let him run into the space and exploit the space. You know, and my opponent's player is far from that space where he's supposed to protect. But look, because his opponent's not so good, he ends up, you know, not doing that decision. Look, Again, pulling players out of position with a second man press, as you guys can see. And yeah, you guys see he conceded 1 goal with a second man press. This game would have been a draw if he never had to concede that goal with a second man press in one of the examples. Okay, so guys, you saw my student ended up losing this game because he misused second man press. If you guys are looking for coaching sessions, I'm the cheapest in the market. I charge under $12 for each coaching session. If you guys want to book, just email me. Anyways, guys, now if you guys want to master on how to defend like a pro and take your defensive skills to the next level, click on this video, what appears in the right hand corner. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.